And just like that, the final episode of the recording session has begun. Welcome back to Ace Attorney Justice for All. I'm your host, MegaShadowFist, like a video game, like a commentary. When we last left off, excuse me, we had Miss Adrian Andrews here. And we're pressing her. We're doing a cross-examination again. I feel like pretty much every single episode has begun with us pressing evidence, or maybe presenting evidence for one of her whatchamacallits, for this entire recording session, for a couple of episodes in the previous one. Anyway, once I made sure that there was no one in the hallway, I made a dash back to Matt's room. That was so you could get the knife, correct? The knife Matt used at dinner had his fingerprints all over it. I thought if I used that, then the police would certainly turn their eyes toward him. Matt was napping with his costume on at the time. I slipped in, took the knife, and returned to the scene of the crime. And then, I stabbed Juan's dead body with the knife and ripped off the button. So, you were the one to stab the victim with that knife. It gives me goosebumps to think about it now. What a horrible thing I did. But, at the time, I couldn't control my own body. It moved on its own. Then, when I stabbed Juan's dead body, I suddenly realized something. If I use the button somehow, I can make Matt look even more suspect. So you thought to rip one of the buttons off and then plant it in Mr. Ungard's Hakama? Yes, that's what I had planned to do. But things never go that smoothly, do they? Just when I finished and was returned to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. What was the previous one? And then I stabbed Juan's dead body with a knife and ripped off the button. Okay. Just when I finished and was returning to Matt's room, I had a bit of an inconvenience. Probably Lotta. An inconvenience. There was a woman with her camera at the ready, loitering in the hallway. I'm willing to bet my spikes it was Lotta. There was also one with a ray gun at the ready, pacing back and forth. Wendy Oldbag. That's Miss Oldbag for you. I had already been caught and made into a big scoop for a certain weekly tabloid once, so I couldn't very well go out looking like myself and get caught again. And that's why I ended up using the Nickel Samurai costume. Is this one where we're supposed to press everything and then the case will continue that way? You were the one who prepared that costume, weren't you? Yes, I took it from the Global Studios. I also put it into Juan's guitar case the day before the award ceremony. You did this in preparation for the press conference, correct? Yes, Juan wanted to wear that costume and hold a press conference in it. He was going to disclose Matt's big secret there. And what is this secret? That, I don't know. Anyway, I thought that if I were to leave Juan's room in the Nickel Samurai costume, then people would think that Matt was a real murderer. I was very careful not to leave any fingerprints when I opened the guitar case. I absolutely did not want anyone to know about the costume. I think we've heard enough. So, after that, you went back to Mr. Ungard's room and planted the button. And to Matt's Hakama? Yes. After that, I folded up the costume I was wearing and put it into a bag. Then I snuck it out of the hotel and got rid of it. My word! What does all this mean? Mr. Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth, is it? The real criminal is Matt Ungard! Yesterday, that woman prosecutor sat me down for a talk. Franziska, huh? She said that I should under no circumstances confess to what I had done. That if I just kept quiet, that Matt would be found guilty for sure. I had no choice but to believe in her words. What this witness has done is clearly unlawful. However, as long as her testimony stands, we can be certain that she is not the real killer. Wait, Your Honor! The defense still... Right. It's pointless. At this point in time, it is not possible to indict Miss Andrews on anything. Yes, exactly. There isn't a single piece of evidence that points to her as the murderer. The cross-examination of the witness is over, and so is today's trial. You couldn't establish that the witness was the culprit. Please let it go, Mr. Wright. But! Mr. Edgeworth, please place Miss Andrews under arrest for further questioning. Understood, Your Honor. The prosecution will arrange for her detention immediately. That's all. Court is adjourned for today. Well, I mean, Maya already ran away, so it's not that big of a deal. Oh, he just left, I see. I thought he just disappeared. Today's trial. It's over. And I didn't win an acquittal. Witness, would you mind if I asked you something? Edgeworth? What is it? Before you leave court today, I wondered if I might look at one thing. The card in your hand. It's had my interest for quite some time now. What exactly is it? Oh, this? Mr. Wright also asked about this. Although I didn't remember at the time you asked me about it, Mr. Wright. I remember just now. I found this in the room on that day. The room? That day? Yes. I found this card when I discovered Juan's body. Oh, so it had to have been the killer then. The killer was all over this. It was lying there right next to him. You found that card next to the victim's body? I suppose I must have unconsciously slipped it into my pocket. But it's not as if this card has any relevance to Juan's murder, right? Yeah, I guess not. But it's still a strange card, if you ask me. But as far as a clue to this case, I don't see why. Witness! That card! Give it to me! Hurry! Edgeworth? Do you have any idea what you have stupidly yet inadvertently done? This! I can't believe you hid this from me all this time! I didn't mean to! What is this all about? I've never seen such an emotional Edgeworth in my entire life. That card. What in the world is it? And what does it mean? Oh! I bet you. Alrighty then. So now we're about to embark on the real case, ladies and gentlemen. It's just like in the fourth case of the. Let's go ahead and say it before I forget. It's like the fourth case in the previous game, right? You had the first case. You had the first half, which was about Edgeworth being, which was about Edgeworth being framed for murdering somebody, and then. But then after we determined that Edgeworth was not the actual murderer, we had the second half, which is about the DL6 incident. So we're probably having a similar thing where, okay, so at first this case is all about, the murder of Juan Corrida, but in actuality, now we're on the second half, which is about to something much bigger. Who was the real killer? I mean, yes, all of our court cases are about who was the real murderer. But it's not necessarily about who was the murderer. It's more about how they did it. This one is more about who the actual murderer is. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but whatever. Anyway, I think, at least that's how I interpret it anyway. March 22nd, 5:24 p.m. Wright & Co. Law offices. Mystic Maya! Mystic Maya! There, Pearls. I can't take it anymore! Look, it'll be alright! Everything may still work out. The condition was that we had to get a not guilty verdict. And so far, the kidnapper has kept his word and hasn't hurt Maya. And he won't because Mr. Ungard hasn't been given a guilty sentence yet. Cheer up! We don't have time to stand around crying. We have to get going. You're right. Mystic Maya's in much more pain than I am. Yes, that's right, so... Oh, it's Gumshoe. Hey, you guys, glad I caught you, pal! Mr. Scruffy Detective! Oh boy, it looks like Detective Gumshoe has been dubbed Mr. Scruffy Detective in Pearl's book now. That's why I was like, oh wow, even Pearl's is calling him that. Look here, Scruffy! It's just plain old Mr. Dick Gumshoe now, and I came to talk to you, pal! But we're kind of busy right now. Yeah, because he's not a detective anymore, actually. Now that I think about it. Let's go and examine a few things, see if there's anything new. Probably not. It's probably still the same old crap. This is the, Nickel Samurai, right? Yeah, that's right. Mr. Mr. Nick! Excuse me. Please take care of Mr. Maya and be her Nickel Samurai. Yeah, this is all new stuff. This is all old stuff, so... First and foremost, Mr. Gumshoe, the future. We haven't saved yet, have we? We saved just before this, but, you know, whatever. Who cares? So what? Who cares? I still haven't learned the words of that. I still need to learn the words of that. Who's gonna save the world? Who's gonna save the day? The future. So, what are you going to do from now on? What do you mean, pal? Well, you've been fired, right? So, do you have a new job lined up yet? Oh, that! What am I supposed to do now, pal? I don't have anything coming in at all until my next payday. What are you talking about? You don't have another payday. I guess that means I'm just gonna have to work here at your place, pal. Say what? Actually, that would be kind of interesting. You'll be searching for things that will prove Mr. Angar's innocence all day, right? Well, yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna help you, pal. I've got lots of experience in investigating and watching over people's places. And I'm great at making really simple meals, pal. I'll take care of it all. So long as it's instant ramen, right? Come on, Mr. Nick. Let's let Mr. Scruffy to take care of things. Okay. By the way, what's your best dish? Instant noodles, pal. I knew it. Instant noodles, pal. Why am I surrounded by people who only eat cheap, unhealthy foods? Edgeworth. That was the first I've ever seen Mr. Edgeworth act like that. Never thought he'd say something like he didn't care if Miss Andrews killed herself. He said that? That's horrible! But because of him doing that, we got the truth finally. The truth? Miss Andrews' last testimony. I wonder if that was the truth. I believe it. I'll give you that there was nothing strange in her testimony itself, but I still think there is something fundamentally wrong with the whole thing. You mean about that thing, pal? Why would she want to... No. I mean almost need to frame Mr. Ungard. I couldn't figure that out from anything she said all day. Then you're saying that testimony was a lie? Not a lie, per se. It just feels like there's more here than meets the eye. Or that's what Edgeworth would like us to believe. That's such a dirty trick! Even that woman prosecutor's bet was better than that! Franziska von Karma. Speaking of Miss von Karma, do you have any more information on her condition? Wasn't she shot this morning? Alright. Miss von Karma was shot today on the way to the trial by a pistol, pal. But she's going to be fine, right? I mean, Edward said she was in a stable condition, but... Well, she was shot in the shoulder, so she's okay and still hanging in there. They should be done taking the bullet out, so she's probably resting at the hospital. Which one? What? Are you going to visit her, pal? No, well, I was kind of thinking about it. Hey, you've actually got a heart, don't you? She looked like she was being tortured to death not being able to get to the trial today. So maybe it'd be good for her if you went and let her whip you for a bit, pal. Let's go and let her whip us, Mr. Nick! Pearl, never let those words leave your mouth again. Not only because one, getting whipped is a bad thing, but two, also the other subtle second meaning that implies. Now, I'm definitely not going. Let's see. The name of the hospital. Oh yeah, the Oh boy, Hody Clinic! That name sends a chill down my spine. Well, I guess it can't hurt to stop by and say hi to... Yes! I hate doing that voice, man. I really don't. We've already presented everything, but you know, let's just present the attorney badge again, just because. Are you with them a lawyer? Look, it's in my attorney's badge. Oh, it's a little tarnished, don't you think, pal? Don't worry, I'll make it all sparkly shiny again. I'm really touched. Oh, but just because, let's go ahead and present everything. Nickel Samurai. Could you please take a look at this? I can't think of anything to say about this, pal. Why don't I make us some instant noodles instead? That's okay, really. Press conference ticket? Nope, nothing to say about this. We're gonna try everything just because. That's interesting, though. I thought that Gumshoe was supposed to be our partner in the third game. Or at least that's what I was told. So, the first game, our partner was Maya, right? This game, our partner was Maya for the second and third. No, our partner was Maya for the... Maya was the partner for the third case. The second case, we were on our own. In the fourth case, it was basically Pearls. And someone said that Pearls was supposed to be our partner, so I guess it makes sense. But I believe in that same comment that I read, this is a long time ago. This is a comment that I read while watching a Let's Play of the first game. They said that Gumshoe's gonna be our partner for the third game, but he's our partner for this game. It's okay, whatever. Radio transceiver. Have you heard anything from the kidnapper? No, not yet. I'm sure he's what happened to the trial today. He'll call, pal. That doesn't sound like my Gumshoe voice. Like, it's kind of like my Carol voice, but just a little bit deeper, you know? Pal, but remember, you can't provoke him when you get to talk to him. Okay, Lada's camera? Present? Okay, nothing to say about that. Okay, nothing to say about that. Okay, magazine clipping. No, nothing to say about that. What about the hotel guide? I was about to call it the Clyde map. But it's actually just a hotel guide map, so. Guitar case? I mean, I'm sure, I can only assume that Gumshoe was attending most of the trial. I mean, he was the first witness, so, anyway, crime photo, let's present. Nope, nothing to say about this. Okay. Jammin' Ninja's button. When I saw that button, I thought to myself, this is gonna prove Mr. OnGuard's guilty. But it looks like there was a lot more to it than I thought, huh, pal? You're a pro. You should know better than to say something like that. Well, I'm not a cop anymore, just a regular helper around the office now, so... I wonder if he misses working down at the precinct. He probably does. Like, that was his life, man. Like, everyone treated him like crap, but that was his life. I mean, like, I like Gumshoe. Like, despite his incompetency and goofiness, he truly will do what he believes is right, and he'll always lend a helping hand to us when the time arises. Oh, hold on. Who would have thought that this knife Mr. OnGuard used to eat his dinner steak with? Go on. That it would be stabbed to the victim's body by Miss Andrews, of all people. I guess you just hated the victim that much, huh, pal? That question isn't why she hated the victim to that extent, but rather, why she tried to pin the murder on Mr. OnGuard. I wonder if she really hates Mr. OnGuard. But, Gumshoe is just like Edgeworth. When you first meet them, you don't like them, but after a while, the game sort of lets you learn to appreciate them. So, this Nickel Samurai is really Miss Andrews, huh? Yeah, or I wonder who asked that. That must have been Edgeworth. I mean, not Edgeworth, that must have been Gumshoe. Yeah, this is either when she went to Mr. OnGuard's room to get the knife, or when she was done with the foul deed. But I guess we'll never know. Okay. Profiles. Let's present Maya Faye. It'll be okay. You'll see her again, little missy. Yeah! It's really important that you don't give up. Okay! I guess a big voice really does give you a sense of presence. I won't give up, ever! Excuse me. Pearl Faye, present. Cheer up! You can't give in, missy! Yeah! Hey, I know! How about a real-life pistol? I'll show you something cool! How's this? It's a real, genuine pistol! You don't have it anymore, Edgeworth. You're not a detective. I don't have my pistol or my police badge anymore. Cheer up! You can't give in! Yeah! What are those two doing? I have no freaking idea. Dick Gumshoe. People are jealous of my ruggedly cool detective look, pal. It's because of this look that I passed the detective's test, you know. Is it really? I guess that might make sense. Oh. But you know, people can't coast through life on their looks alone, pal. Yeah, you can't count on your looks alone. Wow, I learned something new today. Okay, Franziska von Karma. Is she alright? After being shot, I mean. Her wound isn't that bad. Well, the gunshot wound anyway. But her wound to her heart, but the wound to her pride. Now that's a different story, pal. The wound to her pride? Well, until now, she's always upheld the Von Karma creed. But since she can't hear, well, you've given her pride quite a beating, pal. Oh. I mean, she may act all grown up, but she's really still just an 18-year-old. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. She's still just a kid. Quite frankly, I worry about her, pal. Okay. Miles Edgeworth. That's the first time I've seen that side of Mr. Edgeworth, pal. Forcing people to say what he wants them to during testimony. I want to know what in the world happened to him all this time he's been gone. Who knows? Will Powers. I mean, you have been in contact with Will Powers for more than one case. A lot of heart, no. Nothing there. Juan Corrida. I'm not a real fan of action shows or anything, but I know who Juan Corrida and Mr. Angard are. Juan Corrida, though he was always desperately trying to be better than Matt Angard. Matt Angard. I can't believe it! Maya getting kidnapped all because of this guy. I mean, what kind of person is the real murderer anyway? Maybe they're a big fan of Mr. Angard? But the kidnapper's voice. He sounded like an old man to me. I don't understand how you could determine that someone is an old man by this voice, but sure. Security lady. Nope, nothing to say about old bag. Alright. He's the Nickel Samurai! Adrian Andrews. My impression of her has totally changed, pal. So where is she right now? I'm sure she's been questioned down at the precinct. At the very least about messing with the body and obstructing the investigation. And she'll probably be staying over at the detention center. The detention center, huh? Celeste impacts. You probably don't have... Oh, you do! She was Miss Adrian Andrews' mentor! Because of the suicide of the mentor she depended on, Adrian Andrews tried to follow her in an attempted suicide. Now, the question is, who is Miss Andrews relying on now? That's a good question, actually. Alright, well that's everything. We talked to him, we presented everything. We're not going to end off the episode just yet, because we haven't reached our 30-minute limit, so... From save point. What we're going to do now is move. So, we have the hotel lobby, criminal affairs department, and Hody Clinic. Should we save the best for last? Nah, let's go. March 22nd, Hody Clinic, reception. Never thought I'd ever come back to this place. Well, I didn't expect us to come back to this place, but I did expect to see Dr. Hody again, somehow. Yes! Are you here to visit a patient? Well, the thing is, it's the end of the recording session, so my throat is kind of dead, so I can't do the Dr. Hody voice all the way. Hi. Wait a second, you're... Yes, I'm Director Hody. Ho! Why are you still here? Yes, what is it? Can I help you? You can tell me. Yes. Director Hody. I knew it was Edgeworth. Edgeworth? Yes, I'm Director Hody. Oh, you're the man from this morning. Yes, what is it? Director, Franziska. How is Franziska von Karma? You don't really need to... Oh. No, what? Oh, nope. I forget. You know, I remember that Hody was annoying, but I forgot just why he was creepy, and... Yep, it's starting to come back to me now. Well, I shouldn't say that I completely forgot, it's just that I just didn't really make... Nah, anyway. You don't need to worry. Yes, she's in good hands. Because, you see, I'm personally taking good care of her. Yes. Yes, and that surgery, it went well. You have my gratitude. It looks like Edgeworth doesn't know about this director and his secret. She looks so pitiful, absolutely terrified. Yes. But I understand. Yes, her opponent was a good after all. When I stuck up on her real secret, like she would scream really loud. Yes. I see. Oh, but she's really cute too! When I do that, she whipped me with her whip! But, you know, Hody, as we've mentioned before, he likes that sort of thing. Boy, did I cry like a baby! Yes, but I think I can get used to it. I hate you so much. Oh, what? Go back to your room! You're so mean, huh? So mean, my frisky Friska. Well, that's good. Ah! Okay. Yes, it's time for my IV drops. Yes. And what are those tulips doing in your hand, Mr. Phoenix Wright? I knew I shouldn't have come here. Hi, Miss Von Karma. Thank you. Honestly, I'm glad she's here. I thank her for saving me from the mess that is Dr. Hody. I really do not like that guy. He's like, you know, like, there are characters that are annoying, but they're a good kind of annoying. Like, Lotta Heart, Wendy Oldback, they're annoying, but they are a charming kind of annoying. Like, Hody is just freaking creepy. Alright, let's examine. Let's see if we have anything new to say about all of this crap. This is the clinic's reception desk, but it doesn't look like there's anyone at this counter. On the wall is this month's Word of the Wise. Put your best foot forward. Putting this up at a general clinic like this doesn't really mean much, does it? That's actually a new thing. What do you have to say? Is that the same? Do you mean to tell me that after all these months since the second case, that guy is still standing there at that same exact spot? Okay. This patient is undergoing rehabilitation. Wasn't that the patient staying in the same spot the last time you came to visit? Doesn't look like they've moved any closer to the reception desk, huh? Is this clinic really doing anything? Is that patient really getting better? Hey, don't you just cut into my monologue like that. I'm explaining things here. Oh, sorry. Yes. Most sorry, yes. Alrighty then. Let's look at the end. I wonder where that doorway down there leads to. Oh, that's the x-ray room. Yes. How did you know what I was thinking? Yes, well, it's because that's the x-ray room. Yes. There is something very peculiar about this guy, because I know it's not me. That's the same exact thing that they said last time, actually, verbatim. This must be the waiting area. It's got the feeling of one, and there's a sofa lined up. But I don't see all that many patients. Yes. Well, visiting hours are over, that's why. It's time for nightly consultations to begin. Mine, that is. Isn't there anyone keeping an eye on this guy? Seriously! There's gotta be someone keeping an eye on him. Alright, that looks like everything, I do believe. Well, that was everything from last time. I wasn't quite sure if they had anything. So, Miss Von Karma, the shooting. How goes it? You know, long time no see, man. I was shot in front of the courthouse, in my right shoulder. It's no big deal. This sort of thing happens all the time. I even had full intention of running the trial this morning. That actually honestly doesn't surprise me, but that would have been too much. Yeah, you look like you were deathly scared until only a few minutes ago. But I was dragged here by that prosecutor. He even went so far as to grab me by the wrist the whole way here. It was the only logical course of action given the bullet was still lodged in your shoulder. But with me doing so, I found myself having to clean up after you and that irresponsible deal you made. I think I know what deal he's referring to. The deal! Miss Von Karma, you made a deal with Miss Andrews yesterday, didn't you? I don't know what you mean! In order to make sure you got your guilty verdict on Mr. Ungard, you told Miss Andrews to not testify in court today. I don't know what you're talking about! Do you have proof that I made such a deal? You're denying it? It looks like you were lucky, Mr. Phoenix Wright! If I had been in court today, this trial would have already been over! All while hiding Miss Andrews' own crime? That isn't my problem, whether she is tampered with evidence or not. I have only one objective, to find Ungard guilty of murder. The end justifies the means, Mr. Phoenix Wright! The end justifies the means! Miss Von Karma. Adrian Andrews believed you when you said, if you don't tell the truth of what really happened, then Ungard will be found guilty. And what does that have to do with me? Because of that, she is now in danger of being found guilty herself. All because she believed in your words until the very end. That That still has nothing to do with me! She's just a weak person, that's all! But you had to know she was. Ow! I think visiting hours here are about over! So, if you'll excuse me... What's wrong? Why did she suddenly cut you off? Probably because she thinks I had the advantage in that argument. Edgeworth, why does he look so serious? Edgeworth. He looks very serious today. Alright, we'll exhaust one of the dialogue options. We'll use the next one in the next recording session. So we still have quite a bit to go. I thought that... okay, so we're on 3-1, right? So if logic were to dictate how things normally go, that means that we'd have, after this, we'd have 3-2, 4-1, and 4-2, correct? So, we still have 3 parts left to this thing. Maybe we might have a bit more than just 3 or 4 more recording sessions, not including this one. Maybe we might have like 6. Maybe 7. I don't freaking know. I don't know, I'm really bad at estimating, because it really depends on how quickly I go through things, and as you know, I'm pretty slow, especially during times like this where I'm just rambling and not doing anything at all. What happened today at the trial, Edgeworth? That was not like you at all. I mean, I know you knew about Miss Andrews' condition. You could have made her testify as many times as you wanted, but to go that far? But she wouldn't testify about that until I said something. Listen, Wright, the courtroom is a garden of judgment. I am putting myself on the line when I stand in there. And that's why I made the witness do the same. It's only natural. Alright, well, it's cold logic, but it actually does make sense. Alright, let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and leave. Save and exit. But you remember what Edgeworth said. He'll do anything to get a guilty verdict. Anything. Anything! Okay, anyway, let me calm down. So, that was certainly an eventful recording session, I want to say. So, what to do now? Oh, that's right, you know, do what people normally do at the end of recording session. Frickin' end it off! So, what do you guys think of, this whole ordeal, huh? I legitimately thought that the entire rest of the case was just going to be in the courtroom. I didn't think they were going to have another investigation section, but I guess it makes sense. I wonder if we're going to get tased by Von Karma. But, I mean, Manfred Von Karma is gone, so that's not gonna happen. You'll have to look up the DL6 incident case to really know what I'm talking about there, ladies and gentlemen. But anyway, with that being said, that is neither here nor there, so we'll end things off right here. So if you like this video, this series of videos, please feel free to leave a like. If that is cool, please feel free to subscribe and join the Oven Brother today. Also follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/MegaShadowFist. I'll be sure to leave that in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is MegaShadowFist signing out. Bye!